Maple Namu. Hello, and welcome back, or for the first time, to the Maple Namu Podcast. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to tell you the story about how I learned the word goal. And goal is the word that we use for valley. It might actually be the real word for valley, but it's definitely the one we use where we are. Our village is divided into two parts. There's what we call the big village, and then there's the goal. Apparently, anybody with money moved out of the goal. So it's just us poor people, or something. Keep in mind, this is over the course of about 80 years, so who knows. There's weird pride in this village. It's really not a great village. They put a highway through probably 10 or 15 years ago, and it's really noisy because of it. But I don't know. It's really pretty when it comes time to harvest the rice, when the rice paddies start turning yellow. And I imagine it was a lot prettier before they put that highway in. Excuse me. But okay, whatever. I don't know. There's a bit of pride here, and we have a little bit of pride for our little goal. Maybe we're just weird, because it's actually a terrible place to live. It's cold. It's wet. It doesn't get enough sunlight because it's in a valley, and the sun comes up late and goes home early. And just for some reason, we love it. It could be because it's ours, and just having our own space makes it so that we just really love it. But who knows? Yeah. At one point, my wife used to try and explain to other people that we met where we lived. She'd be like, we're inside. We're, up. There's this little road you can take. And then she heard other people just calling it the goal. So we just started calling it that. And you'll notice that I'm changing my voice a lot when you say goal, because it's just apparently the way you say it. You're only ever, if anyone doesn't know who you are, you're kind of yelling at them anyways, because in Gyeongsangnam-do, our province, everybody always sounds like they're angry all the time anyways. So we just say goal because it's funny. And like I said, we had this little bit of pride, and we know all of the old ladies in our area. There aren't very many men left, but we know all the old ladies in our area, but we don't know anybody's actual name. We've kind of nicknamed everybody because why not? I mean, I think they know our names, but there's only two of us and a lot of them, but maybe everybody feels that way. Anyways, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our ladies. We have Grills, because all of her teeth are silver, like she's a rapper. We have Up Lady, because she lives across from us, but higher up. We're in kind of a low part of the village. Not actually the lowest, but there's our little river, and then there's a road up, and Up Lady lives up. So her dog is called Up Dog, which my wife shortened to Uppy. And then we have Smiley Grandma, because she smiles a lot. She's been probably the friendliest. When we were first looking at the house, she actually gave my wife a hug. They were so excited that a young person might move in. We don't particularly care for her son, though, but that's another story. And then we have White Dog Lady, which you can imagine is because her dog is white. And then we have Cabbage Lady. She actually lives in the big village, but she has a little farm here beside Up Lady's farm, and she gave us some cabbage last year, so Cabbage Lady. And then this year she gave us a whole bunch of peppers and some chestnuts. There was a scientist named Pavlov, I don't know, maybe 70 years ago, and he found that if you ring a bell, you can train dogs to think that food is coming. And there's sort of a Pavlovian response. where something happens and then something happens. So it's this very weird, with Cabbage Lady, we have this very weird Pavlovian say hello, get vegetables. We're not going to complain, but it's definitely interesting. There's another lady we don't particularly like, but our name for her is not appropriate for this podcast. And then the last one is Grumpy Lady, now known as Neighbor Lady. When we first moved in, she tried to block off the road by dragging a couple rocks and some bamboo, and it was blocked anyways, but that was our first interaction with her. The previous owners apparently had lots of problems with her. Other people in the village have lots of problems with her. But from what we've seen, it seems like she just wants to keep to herself. She doesn't want to deal with all the village politics and drama. We've heard her family come. They come quite often, and they always seem like they're having a good time. So maybe she's the only normal one here, but who knows? She asked us to put a drain on our roof so it wouldn't flood her farm, and we tried to do it within a couple days, and she was actually surprised that we did it. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe she's asked people before and they just ignore her, but it seemed reasonable. But I can see why people think she's a little bit grumpy. It seems like she just repeats things a lot, or the word I would use in English is bickers. She just bickers a lot. Bickering is kind of just mumbling and complaining about the same thing again and again and again. So maybe people didn't like her, but she seemed all right. She seems kind of with it. I don't know. No worse than anybody else here. And then there's us. People in their early 30s that moved into a place where the average age is probably 80. Maybe we're the weird ones. Not the country people. Huh. But anyways, that's our little valley. We like it for some weird reason, even though it's got a lot that could be better. But it's ours. So, hopefully you enjoyed listening to this episode. It's a bit of a short one. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, you can also let me know. And look forward to more stories of our little village. Maybe. If anything happens. But nothing happens here. Which is probably good. Anyway, have a great day.